Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to week 6. Now that we are in week 6, we are officially halfway through the quarter. So now we need to talk about midterms because that's what this week is very heavily about. There are a couple of things that you're going to need to think about, especially this week. First of all, you have 2 midterm exams. There is a grammar midterm exam and there is an essay midterm exam. And this essay will be written with a time limit. You're going to need to write it within a couple of hours, which means it would be a very good idea to prepare an outline before you actually sit down to write the essay. If you've got a good outline, the essay will practically write itself. Now, in your week 5 folder, you learned a little bit about what a compare or contrast essay was. And you also got a point-by-point outline example. So in order to, sorry about the pauses. In order to feel confident and secure and get ready to write this midterm essay exam, you're going to want to go back and look at your week 5 folder. In particular, here you have the assignment sheet. Hopefully you've already looked at this in detail because this was in your week 5 folder. And you've got some suggestions on what to write about, what kinds of things you need to work on, the compare or contrast paper, which is important. You don't talk about similarities and differences. You talk about similarities or differences. And you can compare 2 things that seem on the surface entirely different, or contrast 2 things that seem on the surface mostly alike. Compare or contrast 2 things that people may be looking for information on, high school and college, that sort of thing. And so a comparison essay takes a look at 2 things that are obviously different and points out their similarities. A contrast paper takes 2 things that seem a lot alike and then focuses on the differences between those 2 things. So what to avoid, you've got incredibly obvious topics and picking topics that generate repetitive information because they are so familiar. And you've got a list of possible topics. Hopefully you've looked through this already. So you've got a pretty good idea going into this week of what you want to write about. So let's go into the weekly lessons here and see what your week 6 folder shows you. The first thing, as I mentioned before, is midterms. That's the first thing that week 6 is about. The second thing is about research and how to make research a part of your essay. So this week introduces chapter 19, strengthening an essay with research. And as you go through and you look at MindTap 6, week 6 practice, you'll see a lot of chapter 19, strengthening an essay with research. Got your week 6 assignment, you've got a practice on strengthening essay with research, and quiz yourself on strengthening an essay with research. So as you have no doubt figured out, this is going to be a busy week. You're going to want to be sure you manage your time well this week so that you don't get toward the end of the week and find your stomach tying up in knots as you think about what you have not written yet, what you have not completed yet. So here are the links to your compare and contrast essay midterm and the Mastery Grammar midterm exam. This will give you an idea of where you are at this point in the quarter. So take a look in particular here. Please let me know if any questions come up, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Good luck with everything, and happy week 6.